we live in a world where it's all too easy to exploit children through the internet and social media. Now, I feel like there needs to be a discussion about when a child can begin posting pictures of themselves, where the consent lies and what does that look like. I still feel conflicted that 13 with parents' permission still seems too young, and the science shows that children are unable to consent. So my question to you is, should parents be allowed to post pictures and become pseudo production managers and encouraging children to perform online? Where do you think the line is? I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hello everyone, G Rhymes here with the Periodic Review. I want to earn your subscription. So if I do that today, please consider liking and sharing this video, crushing that red subscribe button, and hitting that bell to turn on notifications. Send us any of your topic ideas, articles, and videos via email at theperiodicreview@gmail.com. Now, although we cannot control pictures that are taken in public by, paparazzi, fans alike, however, what is interesting is that there are many celebrities who have gone through the trouble to either not post pictures of their children or go through the process of blurring out their faces or using cartoon pictures such as emojis to cover their faces. Now, I thought this article was really interesting. This is from Insider.com. Eva Mendes, Ryan Gosling don't share photos of their daughter until they're old enough to give consent. Kerry Washington shares photos of her children with their therapist when she gets the urge to post online. Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz announced that they won't share photos of their daughter shortly after she was born. Dax Shepard and Christian Bell covered their daughter's faces in social media posts. This is the couple that likes to use emojis. Anna Paquin said she keeps her twins off social media specifically for them. Ashton Kutcher said that his and Mila Kunis' kids haven't chosen a public life, so they don't post photos of them. Adele keeps her son away from cameras because it's really hard being a famous person's child. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski don't share photos of their daughters. And the list just goes on and on. I think another great example would also be Joe Rogan and his lovely wife. They don't post any photos of their children. In fact, they take a painstaking process to not be around each other a lot of times when they know that paparazzi are going to be there, or try to eliminate the opportunities of paparazzi capturing photos of them together, just because they just want to protect their kids. They don't want to have their kids in the limelight. They want them to have their own lives. They want them to have the ability to choose and decide for themselves if they want to be a celebrity, basically. And so I just think it's really interesting that these celebrities are doing these kinds of things. And I think it's really important to protect children at all costs. I think allowing children to have, normal lives and to grow up just like any other child, and to have these wonderful opportunities when they get older, to decide for themselves if they want to have, their pictures plastered all over everything, or if they want to be associated with their parents because, they just happen to be, children of people that we know and are very popular. Now, the reason I decided to do this video today is because I wanted to get your all's thoughts on this. Now, obviously, I could be wrong. Obviously, I could be reading into this, but there's several instances where I've seen these kinds of videos where the parents' children are being featured. So I just want you guys to watch these and tell me what you guys all think.
Hey everybody, my mom and dad made this new song for my stupid heart. I'm getting praise for my brothers. Let's go! My stupid heart.
Super great energy.
I tried to let you go so many times before. Then when I got back into my stupid heart, too late, already on my way. If you are your friends, again then you can play my stupid heart.
Children energy is just next level. I really wish that we could get that as we get older. Now here's another one. And there's several other examples, but so clearly they're having their kids promote their song. Now a lot of these have like tens of millions of views now, which is really interesting. Now I know I might not have the best view on this, these kinds of videos, and I may get a lot of hate for them, but I just feel that I need to talk about them because I question the validity as far as like like what's really going on in the parents' minds when they get these kids together and they have this production and they sit down and they record them and then they create these videos. What I want to know is how the parent was able to help their child understand what they're creating. Like, how were they able to, about these children influencers? Like, did they understand what they are doing, what they're promoting? Like, do these kids actually know like what they're singing about? Like, these are the questions that I wonder and I question and I ask, like, do these parents really understand? Like, have they been able to help these kids understand? I mean, I think they might be, I don't know, 6, maybe 4 to 6, somewhere around there. And these kids' minds at that age are, they want to be, they want to ride on spaceships and they want to go on, special fantasy adventures with their stuffed animals. These kids don't really know and understand what's going on, is what I'm trying to say. And so what's interesting is that there is an organization called COPA, so that's Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule. COPA imposes certain requirements on operators of websites or online service directed to children under 13 years of age. I would assume that these videos are, child friendly, and I'm sure that they are promoting them to children. I could be wrong. I would, maybe I'm wrong about this, but and no operators of their websites or online services have actual knowledge that they are collecting personal information online from a child under 13 years of age. Now, what's really interesting is that when I look up some of this information on Wikipedia, they actually have different instances where the law has come out and like have fined different companies for doing these different things with these children, like unknowingly are being utilized to basically give shopping advice, to do jokes and stuff like that. So this was the one I thought was very, very interesting. So in February 2004, UMG Recordings Incorporated was fined $400,000 for COPA violations in connection with a website that promoted the then 13-year-old little rapper Little Romeo and hosted child-oriented games and activities in Bonsai software, which offered downloads of an animated figure, Bonsai Buddy. Now that doesn't sound very, very evil or anything like that, but when you get a little bit farther into it, Bonsai Buddy that provided shopping advice, jokes, and trivia, they were fined $75,000 for COPA violations. Similarly, the owners of Zanga website were fined $1 million in 2006 for COPA violations for repeatedly allowing children under 13 to sign up for the service without getting the parents' consent. Now, I think the topic of the day is question I should say is, can children consent? I would say no, because my question is do they know what they are doing to be in this video to promote things? Like, do they understand that they are basically shopping around their song to other individuals? And I'm sure, children, I'm sure this is, labeled as, child friendly because it's cute little kids singing. So was there any kind of consent form drawn up and given to YouTube and say, yes, we give our kids consent to promote our video and song. It's okay for us to have this. We have given them their consent. Does the kids even know that they are doing what they are doing aside of having fun with their parents? And lastly, where does the money go? And I think at the bottom line here is obviously, children's consent is really important. And if, they do, where does the money go? And I think it's really important that when, parents who are very, very popular, or if they have the kids that are very, very popular, child influencers or whatever, is it's important where the money goes. Now, I was unable to find any information as far as like, what does the parent, like, what is, what are the parents supposed to do with the money? Are they supposed to, use a certain percentage of it to have a really fun and wonderful life, having roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their backs, all the necessities that, anybody would need to take care of a child? How extravagant those things should be, how much money is being spent, or what percentage of the proceeds are going to that, and what percentage of the proceeds are going into the parents' pockets so that they can spend money and go on, extravagant trips and all these kinds of things. What percentage of that money is going to be saved for those children so that when they do become of age, when they become 18 or whatever, they can actually, have that money for themselves, and then they can do what they want with it. Because I just don't see how children are able to say, yes, I want to do this until, a certain amount of time, or I want to have fun and share these different, games and videos and video games or toys or whatever the case that may be, whatever they are promoting, whatever they are selling. I just don't think that kids really understand what they're doing. At least those are my thoughts. I could be wrong. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All of my sources and links are in the video's description down below. And from my family to yours, good night.